What a happy article. This one really brought me a lot of joy. 81-year-old Lee Ju-young passed the Suneung. She studied for 8 years, I suppose not just for the Suneung, but in the build-up, doing the levels. She attended a special school for older students who never had the chance to get a full education when they were young. But she got there in the end. She achieved something amazing at an older age, thus proving that you're never too old. Age is just a number. With the will, there is a way. It wasn't just a wistful dream. So what an inspiration. I admire her. I hope I am just as motivated at that age. Should I survive that long?
Yeah, it's a good addendum.
Yes, may not even get to 81. We'll have to see. So yes, I guess the crux of it is the really inspiring thing is that women often didn't get the chance to pursue education past an elementary level, back in the past. So it's really nice that they've got the opportunity to do this later. What age is it legal to drop out of school?
See, I had to look up this legal part and everything because in my understanding, you can forego school at any time and not go to jail. Basically, it's called not going to school. Now, I had to look it up because I was like, what does this mean by legal? So apparently there is a way for you to, I don't even want to say legally, but according to, go into the system as someone who legitimately dropped out of school as early as 16. I think it was 15 for one state, but an average 16. But usually it's 18. And I was like, what's the use in dropping out at 18? You've literally completed everything except college. So I was like, that's a bit weird. But with parents' consent, 16 is available for many parts of the U.S. Yeah.
Exactly the same as the UK.
Oh, okay. 16. Yeah. I was, for some reason, I think I got it backwards because I thought that this was like, oh, you can drop out at any time in the U.S., depending on the state. But at any time, it doesn't matter. Like, because I was homeschooled, so I technically didn't ever drop into school. But yeah, I guess.
But you were still registered. I'm sure your parents had to prove to the government in some way that they were doing your schooling at home.
Nowadays you do, but back then I think it was a little bit more gray area. And all I had to do was take the test in order to get into college and pass it. And then my mom made up the transcript, not made up, but like wrote up the transcripts of my school time. But we didn't keep detailed records because I would wake up and be in school and go to sleep and be in school. So there's no attendance.
Wow, yeah.
I had perfect attendance, I'm sure. Did you have anyone drop out that you know of?
At 16? Oh, yeah, tons of people. I think only 50% or less than 50% of British people are university graduates or even go to university. And a lot of those, drop out of school at 16 in order to pursue work or technical training. They want to learn how to be a hairdresser or mechanic or, they want to do something more vocational.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is that really dropping out if you're still studying a vocation?
It's still dropping out of state school. They have to pay for these kinds of trainings. It's not free.
I see. Do you ever feel wistful when thinking about the opportunities younger people have?
Okay, there is one thing that I am a bit jealous of young people today. Instagram.
Oh.
When I was a kid, I always loved makeup. But because it's something you do on your face, there's only so many people you can really show that off to. I think if I'd had Instagram when I was a teenager, I would have been a superstar. I think, with all that makeup and an audience to reach.
Yeah.
I wish we'd had Instagram.
Well, it wasn't too far after YouTube.
Okay, I'm talking about in the late 90s. I was a teenager. Instagram didn't get launched until about
2008.
2008.
Yeah, something like that.
I was about 20 years behind.
Yeah.
I'm older than you, though.
Yeah. You could, the internet wasn't even around when you were a teenager.
Yeah. We only got email when I was about 14.
Getting your Model T car cranked in the morning.
Okay, too much.
too much, too far. Anyways, so just that, wistful for the early access to Instagram. Oh, interesting. That's quite a view because most people think early access to Instagram is a bad thing for children.
Well, again, maybe if I'd actually had it and I'd got some kind of like minor internet fame as a very young teenager, it would have led me, like, you know, so many of those child stars, they go down the path of drinking drugs and ruin their lives. And maybe I would have ruined everything.
I could see you going down the path of drinking because you already have, but I think you would have been just fine. And we would be in the presence of a superstar now.
So let's take a look at the vocab in more detail and educate ourselves a little bit more. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Dreaded.
Dreaded.
Deferred.
Deferred.
Drop out.
Drop out.
Make up one's mind.
Make up one's mind.
Forego.
Forego.